Welcome to the demonstration of the SNOM 821 handset for use on the SipSwitch IP hosted telephone platform. Before we get into actually using the handset, I'd just like to point out two buttons that are particularly important. The one with a tick and the one with a cross. The tick is the one that actually sets up a call or confirms any function that you do in it, such as storing a memory. And the cross is the one that stops whatever you're doing, takes you back to the start, or ends a call. So those two buttons are ones you'll be using all the time, whatever function you're using on the phone. First of all, let's just have a quick look at how to make a call, which is obviously one of the most common things you're going to be doing with the handset. Just like any other handset, you can simply dial the telephone number you wish to make. And as I said, if you press the tick button, that will make the call. The call will go out as normal, and as the light on the bottom shows, the call is actually on speakerphone at that point. And as soon as somebody answers, or the phone is answered at the other end, the handset's on speakerphone. If you pick up the handset, it just transfers straight back to the handset, and when you bang the handset back up, that will end the call. Another way of dialing, and once again you can dial either an external number or an internal extension. If we just dial an extension, pick up the handset, that will also make the call. So it saves you pressing the tick button. If you just dial, picking up the handset starts the call. If you're already on a call and you've got the handset in your hand, you can of course just dial as normal, press the tick button, and that will also set up a call. You can also of course take any number from the memory so that you can dial out to one of your regular numbers. Simply pressing the directory key here will bring up all the numbers in the memory, and if you're looking for somebody with starts with a specific letter, for example a D, you can jump to all the telephone numbers that you've got in the memories. You can go to the one that you want to call, press a tick button, and that will set up the call as normal. Pressing the cross button will end that call. To receive a call, you would simply, when it rings, as normal, you see it ringing, it will tell you either the extension number or the inbound number that's coming in. You can pick up the handset as normal, receive the call, and hanging up the handset of course terminates the call. If you want to have the call that's coming in on a hands-free, simply pressing tick receives the call, and the call is on the hands-free system. And to terminate the call, you can press the cross. When you're on a call and you're speaking to the caller at the other end, there's a couple of things that you can obviously do with that call. One of them is to put it onto mute. That means the person at the other end cannot hear what you're saying or any conversation in the room. And then as soon as you want to put the the microphones in this handset or on the complete unit back on, you put the mute button off. So what that mute button does is it cancels the microphone in either the hands-free system or on the handset. Hanging up the handset terminates the call. The other option of course is you may want to put the call on hold for a time. So an inbound call, you've picked it up, you're talking to the person at the other end and you need to do something whilst you put the call on hold. The button at the bottom here, the call on hold, means that the person at the other end will hear hold music until you come back to it. You can see the light flashing at the top saying that extension number is on hold. Pressing that button brings the call back to this handset. Once again, hanging up the handset will terminate the call. If you want to move between a handset call and the speakerphone, if you're on the handset and you suddenly realise somebody else has come into the room that you would like to include in the call, pressing the speaker button, hanging up the handset, the call is retained, but the telephone is now on speaker mode so that you can actually, everybody in the room can be heard at the other end, and the speaker is on. Pressing cross will terminate that call. If you have multiple inbound calls coming in, so you're already, for example, on a call from extension 107 and you're in the middle of a conversation, if somebody else calls you you will see the handset display on one side the call that is connected, which is extension 107, and you can also see that extension 1010 is trying to call you. And this will build up for all the inbound calls that are coming in. So for example, if somebody else rings and another call comes in, there you see it again. So another call is actually coming in now. If you put this call on hold, you can then transfer to that one and that one becomes connected. So you can actually see calls stacking up as they come into you, and any call that you then pick up on from hold comes back on the system, and I'll end it. So you can actually stack up multiple calls on this handset as if you're a small switchboard. You may have noticed that the symbols down here change when you've got multiple calls coming in. Let's just set up some calls again. So there's the inbound from call 107 that we've just picked up. I'll arrange another call to come in. There we see another call arriving on the switchboard. This one that's connected, if we put it on hold, it will enable us to pick up that call. So the first one is on hold and the second one is connected. You will notice here now there is a little triangle with spots in the corner, which is the conferencing button. If you would now like to conference all the calls, pressing that button makes both the calls coming in connected to your handset. So at that point you have got three people on a conversation. If somebody else rang in and you would see another call come in, you could also pick that call up and if you wish conference that one as well. So you can conference multiple calls simultaneously on this handset. To actually hang